Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. It's that proud Black woman again, and thank you so much for tuning in today. So, as we do every Saturday, I always bring you awesome guests. And today's topic is the importance of networking. And you're wondering, who do I have here today? I have Oluwabunmi Bosede. I always say Bosede. I don't know why. So join me as I welcome Bumi Bosede.
Hello, everybody. So nice to be here, and thank you so much for having me, Fikemi. How was your week?
Not bad, actually, not bad. It was a little stressful because I've been doing a couple of things, but yeah, it's not bad. How about you?
Mine was over the top stressful, but I'm here. That's the most important thing. And thank God we're alive and we're healthy and we're good to go. Thanks
That's
for having
the
me.
That's the most important thing. And I want to thank you for taking the time because I know that you're busy. I'm one of those that troubles you all the time. So I know you're very busy. But for you to take that time to come on this show, I really appreciate it. And yeah, and this is my first time actually meeting you in person, not in person, but virtually, right? But even though it's so funny that I've been disturbing you on the phone and text and everything, and you've been so magnanimous, and I really appreciate that. So thank you so much once again. So what I'm going to do now is because a lot of people don't know you, so I'm going to introduce you by reading out your bio, and then we can go into the topic of the day. Okay? All right. So Oluwabunmi Bosede is an internationally trained lawyer with over 15 years practice experience. She obtained LLB from Ambrose Ali University in Nigeria, LLM from Osgood Law School, Toronto, Ontario, and bagged a postgraduate diploma in Human Resources Management from York University, Toronto, Ontario. Oluwabunmi is currently licensed to practice law in Nigeria, the province of Ontario. She currently runs her own law practice in the Greater Toronto area of Ontario, where she provides legal services in the areas of family law, immigration law, and real estate law. Oluwabunmi is a strong believer in community building and giving back to our community. She volunteers with various not-for-profit organizations within our community and mentors internationally trained lawyers within our community planning towards becoming licensed to practice law in Canada. Welcome with me, Oluwabunmi Bosede.
Thank you for having me once again. Hello,
Thank you.
everyone.
So is there anything else? Because that's one of the questions that I ask. People wonder, why do I ask these things? But I just want it to be semi-formal, not like always very serious and stuff. So I always ask people, like, apart from what is on your bio, is there any fun facts that we should know about you?
Let me see. Aside what's on my bio, what's there you need to know about me? I'm a mother. I have two amazing kids. I'm a
Wow.
wife to an amazing husband. And I'm a sister to amazing, amazing brothers and sisters. And what else is there to? I love to sing in my own private, sometimes they say in your bathroom voice. I love music a lot. And like you said earlier in my bio, anything that has to do with community upliftment, building, giving back to the society, always I always want to go at it, because for me, I believe the only way we can make life better is by giving back. And you don't have to actually be comfortable. You don't have to be at that place where you desire to be in order for you to give back. And most times it's not always about funds either or money. You could give back in various ways. That's something that I love to do.
Thank you for saying that, because a lot of times people always say, well, when I start making $5 million or $10 million before I'm able to give back. But with whatever, sometimes giving back your time means a lot to a lot of people, and you don't know whose life you're going to be touching positively. So thank you for talking a little about that. So now I'm just going to go to my first question. But before that, if you're just joining us, please give us a huge thumbs up and rep your city, rep your country, rep your town, wherever you're watching us from. Please leave it in the comment section. That's how we mark attendance here, all right? So I was going through Instagram yesterday, and then I read on your IG post, and I quote, "It is often said that most connected people are often the most successful." Do you mind throwing a little bit light on this statement?
Well, yesterday I was just like, I know, like I said, the week has been off the roof, stressful, busy for me. But I just felt yesterday, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to come on this show this morning. What do, I need to tell people, my people out there to join me. And, the first thing that came to mind was, yes, when you're connected, you're successful. Now, it's a little bit, some people would disagree with me to an extent to say, no, I don't need to be connected to be successful. And some would say, oh, really? I think what Bumi is actually saying makes sense. But the core of what I'm saying is that no man is an island. That is just the core of that paragraph. In order for you, you can find success in various ways, in diverse ways. But in order for you to maintain success, there's one very key thing that we all need, and that is information. And most times you cannot get information when you sit in your home all by yourself. Yeah, we have a lot of materials out there. You can do research on your computer, you can buy books and read. But do you know that sometimes it takes you just meeting one person, just one person. And sometimes it doesn't even take you spending an hour with that person. It takes 10 minutes. Sometimes it takes 15 minutes. And there's a turnaround in your business. There's a turnaround in your professional life. There's a turnaround in your marriage. There's a turnaround in something that you actually have been really testing for and looking for solutions to. So sometimes when you kind of associate with people, it takes a lot of you when it comes to success, because that information that you need to get to the next level is right there, just waiting for you at that person, when you meet that person and you have that conversation. And that is why I actually put that, that paragraph out there. It is important for you to network.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's true. Because a lot of times, a lot of people will say, oh, you have to like be calling the person, be doing this and that. But there's sometimes that it's not even planned. You might just meet somebody in a bus. You might meet somebody at a restaurant and you just have like 2 seconds of like 2 minutes of talk with that person and you click, like you all click off. And from there, networking has started. And before you know it, whatever it is that you've been trying to get for the past 2 years will just instantaneously get, sorted. So sometimes you just have to take your eyes off your phone or whatever, because nowadays we're in the age where we're always on our computer and we're always on our phone and we don't even see when good things are passing by. So networking is really important. And now you can use your networking, your phones and computers as well. You can use it to that advantage as well, because it will give you the opportunity to meet people that are far beyond your reach as well, like in the UK, in Nigeria, wherever they may be. So that's really important. I really appreciate you for like throwing more light on that aspect of it. So now I will just go to my next question. So, prior to the pandemic, a lot of people either did not know about networking, I know I'm guilty, not like I don't know, but or didn't really care much about it. Would you say that COVID played a role in getting people to, step up their networking game? Because for me, before COVID started, it was just me and my family, me and my work. But after COVID, I feel like I was forced to network because then we're sitting down in our house, we don't have anything else to do. So I think for me, it forced me to network. What's your opinion on that? Do you think that that has been the case for a lot more people?
Yes, I totally will agree with you. Even though COVID has its downsides, it did, a lot of harm. And I want to use this opportunity to, say that for those that have lost loved ones, I sympathize with you and I understand that it's been a trying period. But at the same time, I also want to say that, for every situation, or for every circumstances that comes, there are always the good and the bad. And I think one of the things that, COVID kind of opened our eyes to was the amazing things that we could do without actually physically being together, right? And, and networking, meeting people was one of those things. Look at what happened with Zoom. Look at what happened with Instagram. Like, it was just like it was just like magic, right? It was kind of an explosion that just, suddenly like that. People could have birthday parties on Zoom, people could have wedding ceremonies, people could have inauguration, people could commission documents. It just became, so yes, even though the pandemic kind of restrained us because we couldn't come out physically to meet with loved ones, and kind of the normal norms that we understand to be networking is, oh, there's a program going on somewhere, oh, I want to go for that networking program, and you register and you go in there and you chat with people. But you know what, I can attest to the fact that you don't actually have to meet with people physically to network. You don't have to meet with people physically to network. I have a lot of amazing stories that I will be telling, as we go on in this journey, in this path that we're having, to show you that networking is an amazing tool, and it's free, right? It's free. So yeah, COVID, even though COVID came in and we were all shocked, we're not expecting it, but I can tell you that no, COVID did not, it kind of helped us in a way, because you were able to network even without seeing each other. It really brought out a lot of, good things as well.
Yeah, that's true. That's true because there's so many things that we're able to do. Like for example, I'll use my the Nigerian Bar Association. I've never attended any of their conferences, and then last year they did it online, and I was able to join all the way from here. And I joined like it was I think maybe 3 days or so. I was able, or 7 days, I can't remember, but I was able to join for the first 3 days, which normally it would have cost me a lot of money to travel back home and all that. And it was free as well. So I didn't have to spend a dime. So that's like one of the perks of the pandemic. Although, as you said, it had so many bad parts where we lost people and stuff. But there were also some developments virtually and all of that that a lot of people were able to take advantage of. So that really makes a lot of sense. And yeah, I think for myself as well, I would say 80% of people that I've met are all virtually now. Before now, I didn't really have people, and it's so funny how we relate as friends, as if we've known one another for 2, 3, 4 years, right? And with some people, I've only been talking to them virtually on Instagram, right? So I'm like, it's so like there's so many things that the pandemic have brought. There's been the good, there's been the bad, and we just have to be grateful for the good part of it as well, right? So my next question is, what are the benefits of networking? I know we've talked about it here and there, but like now we want to focus a little bit more on the benefits of networking, and in what ways have you personally benefited from networking?
Okay, so I was answering that question by actually first saying, okay, we've been saying networking to so many people. Networking means various things. So I'm going to start by saying, what exactly do we mean by networking? And I would put it in a very simple term. Networking is a relationship, a mutual relationship, where you come together with individuals. It could be one or two or more people, and you nurture that relationship to get a benefit from it. And it has to be two sides, right? It doesn't have to be the benefit coming from one person. Now I'm going to explain that later, because some people would say, oh no, I'm networking because I want to get a job, right? So you want to get a job, so it is actually you that needs something. But you know what, even though you're networking with the intention of getting a job, but you also want to give back to that person, that environment or that community that you're going to help you get a job. So yeah, so for me, networking is, remember, the most important things I've talked about now is there have to be a mutual understanding, there have to be a mutual benefit, it has to be a relationship, right? And like I said, yeah, to different people, there are different types of ways you can network, how you can network. But yeah, back to what I was saying. Now, how can you network? We've just talked about Instagram. Um, for me, I am that kind of individual that likes to, I'm very outgoing. Let me put it that way. I want to know what's going on. I want to give back. And because I'm always, right there in the community doing one thing or the other, volunteering in different capacity as I can, people tend to know me. Now, even though I would say that, I try to do these things because I feel I'm giving back. Also, there are benefits to it for me, right? Because in situations where I'm a lawyer, that's my profession, that's what I do for a living. And most times I don't go out there flaunting the fact that I'm a lawyer or putting out there that I'm a lawyer, but people know that that is what I do for a living. So while I am giving back, while I am trying to network with my community, and at the same time, people are reaching out to say, oh, I know you're a lawyer. I've heard that you're a lawyer. I need ABC. Is this something you can offer? If not, can you refer somebody to me that can offer this service? So that is one amazing thing that happens when you network. Like I said, now you don't even have to meet people physically. Like Fikemi have said, so many people I have met on Instagram, so many amazing individuals that I have not seen physically before, but we've become like sisters. I remembered sometimes last year, December, I got a gift from somebody in New Brunswick, and I was shocked. Let me tell you the story. This person, I didn't know her. I never even checked. I never for once went to her page to even check the picture. But I just noticed that whenever I posted anything on Instagram, she was always liking and commenting on my post. So I was like, oh, okay. So, mutual. So whenever I see anything comes up, I would do same, right? And it got to a stage, I think I saw something that came up on somebody else's, page that had to do with her contesting for something in our city. And I'm like, oh, this person that always, and I'm like, okay, there's no harm in putting it on my post as well. So I just put it out there, and she came back to me and said, oh, thank you so much. I saw you put this. And I'm like, yeah, we're, supporting each other. So I think it's a good thing to do. I wish you all the best. And that was it. And she actually got the position and came back to say thank you. Then during Christmas, she mailed something. I didn't know how she got my address. She mailed something all the way from her. So for me right now, I haven't met her physically. But I know that sometimes she checks on me on Instagram and says, sis, I've not seen you on Instagram for a while. Hope everything is good. And now, because of that, I was able to find out that she does a kind of service that I had a lot of people that were asking me about. So what did I do? I would refer them to her. So that's a way of networking. She has not seen me physically. We've not had any physical contact, but we've been able to benefit from each other. So yeah, so there are some people that are introverts and they tell you, oh, I don't like meeting people. I don't like, you can do it in a very, very reserved way. Be yourself and still network. And sometimes it's not only about getting a job, right? It's not, because most times you say, oh, you network because you want to get a job. I'm looking for a job, so I need to network. I don't believe so. Even for our mental health, for us as individuals, sometimes we just need to, go out there, put ourselves out there to, kind of check and balance, especially in this period where you have to stay at home all by yourself. I know sometimes you're with your family, but also sometimes you need that fresh air. You need that, I just need to calm myself. I just need to see what's going on out there. There are lots of virtual events going on for free. And you meet amazing people, and you cannot tell how those amazing people will change your life. And yes, you asked personally, yeah. So for me, like I said, I've always been a very outgoing person. So I'm going to tell a story. When I came into Canada 6 years ago, it's 6 years this year that I came into Canada. And, I went to, when you come in, there's this newcomer thing that they throw at you, and they tell you a lot about mentoring, right? Fikemi, am I right? They tell you a lot about mentoring. They tell you a lot about networking and mentoring. And at that time, I was not too, good with tech. And I remembered when I went into that newcomers program, they told me about LinkedIn. I've always heard about, but I didn't have a LinkedIn profile. So I was like, but the guy was like, you're a lawyer from Nigeria. You will meet a lot of, fellow lawyers on this, professional platform. Go open your LinkedIn. And that was how I went ahead and opened my LinkedIn. And when I did at that time, what I did was I didn't know a lot of Nigeria. I didn't know no Nigerian lawyer in Canada. So what I did was I started putting Nigerian lawyers in Canada. I was searching for, let me even see one or two. And a particular name popped up. It was a Nigerian Yoruba name. And what I did was I sent an email to that individual introducing myself and that I just needed a mentor. I needed somebody to talk to. And I can tell you that that relationship 6 years ago has been one that has brought me through my professional ladder up to where I am at today as I'm talking to you. This individual has been kind of a backup, has been a strength, has been always there for me. And like I said, I didn't know her from Adams. It was just a LinkedIn. Now we go to each other's house. She can come to my house and come to my bedroom. So for me to tell you the kind of relationship we've been able to build off social media now to the physical. So yes, networking is an amazing tool that if we use it rightly, it can yield a lot of beautiful things.
Thank you so much for that enlightening story, and that's true. With as I said before, it was always me and my family thing. But until when COVID started, I have had LinkedIn, as you said, but it was just LinkedIn. I never posted anything on there. I never completed my profile. And somebody had told me, which I also met. I met through because I used to do. I started my French lessons. I think end of 2019. So I had met one lawyer. So when we're introducing ourselves in French, she was like, "Oh, Justice, Justice Avocat." I was like, "Oh, I'm also a lawyer." And then when I heard her name was Ola, and mine was Olu. I was like, "Oh, Nigerian." So that's why we kind of networked. And I told her, "Oh, I was writing my bar exams and everything." And from there, she was like, "Why don't you create your LinkedIn profile?" I said, "Yeah, I have one, but I've never posted it. In fact, it was my husband that helped me to create it then." So she was like, "I think you need to do that." So I went and I created it. And since last year, I've started posting. At least I'll try once a week to post something. Even this video will be going up on my LinkedIn as well. And people would connect with me. Most of the time, it's people also going through the lawyer licensing process, reaching out to me. How do I do this? How do I do it? And I've been able to assist in whatever capacity that I've been able to. And it gives me so much joy when they come back and say, "Oh, I passed my exams and this and that." Like, it gives me so much joy. So as you said, for your mental health as well is really great. So it's not always looking at what can I gain from this person. And from there as well, I've been able, some of the speakers that I've brought on this platform, it's been from there. Like even the person that came 2 weeks ago from the Ontario Bar Association, I reached out to the president of the Ontario Bar Association. She said, "Okay, anything that I have to do has to go through the Ontario Bar Association." So she gave me the email. I contacted them. For 2 weeks, I didn't hear anything. I was like, "Oh, they're not going to respond." And then they responded after. And then they said, "Okay, the president won't be able to come, but this is another board member that will be able to come and whatever." And I reached out. It was fantastic. So networking is key. And I was like, what have I been doing for so long? Like, why didn't I see the light for so long? So it is really important. And yeah, thank you so much for sharing your story. And I believe that a lot of people watching us today or that will watch us after will be very inspired by it. So a couple of things that I was going to touch on, we already talked about. So I might just mention them. And if you have anything to say on that, we will do. Otherwise, we'll skip because I know your time is limited with us today. So when I chat with people about networking, they often use COVID-19 and distance as an excuse why they cannot connect with people. Apart from physical attendance, what are any other effective ways of networking?
Yeah, so like you said, we've talked about it. You don't have to meet with people physically in order to network. You can do it via social media. There's Instagram, there's Zoom, there's LinkedIn, there's Facebook, there's Clubhouse. We have a lot of technologies coming up almost every other day, right? And you can take advantage of such amazing platform. There are groups. I attended the program on Zoom about 3 or 4 weeks ago. And when we were done, the program was so fun that after the program, some people did not leave. So we were still on Zoom and we were catching up. And these were people from Nigeria, UK, Canada, different provinces in Canada, and we're there for. And would you believe that even after the program, even though a lot of us were like, we want to go, we were there for another, I think, an hour and a half. And all we did was catch up. And during that period, I got to find out that one individual was into something that I was looking desperately for, somebody to offer that service to me. And immediately we were done, I just reached out to her and I'm like, I need this thing done, blah, 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 blah. She was like, oh, excellent. Yeah, I can do it. And in 2-3 days, I got it done. So sometimes it doesn't have to be official, right? It could, be a very informal atmosphere, informal environment, but you can still get what you want. So you don't have to meet with people physically to network. You can do it in different forms, just as we've said. So yeah, you can use COVID is no excuse. Though COVID has even helped us right now to, for those people that would say, oh, I'm an introvert, I don't like going to parties. No, I'm an introvert, I don't like hanging out with people. You don't even have to do it with a lot of people. I know sometimes you feel like I don't want to go out of my comfort zone, but I normally tell people that I mentor in my profession that you cannot afford to be an introvert when you're in this community, when you're in this environment, because information for you will take away 3 years journey and cut it into 2 months. And the only way you would have access to this information is when you reach out to people, is when you meet people. And we've said it over and over again during this program. It doesn't have to be physical. Like Fikemi said, we're having this face-to-face chat, I'll call it that way, for the first time. We've spoken various times for hours on the phone. We've chatted, we've talked, like we know each other like sisters, but we've never met. She doesn't know where I stay. She doesn't know where I work, and neither do I know where but we've been conversing for a while now. So yeah, please, we cannot use COVID anymore we cannot use physical distance anymore as an excuse, right? You just have to get to it.
Exactly. That's really important, because especially for people that are introverts, I feel like it takes away that tension from you when you're just talking to people on the phone and via Zoom. It takes away that tension, and then at the end of the day, when you finally meet after creating that little relationship, when you finally meet, you'll be so confident, and all that nervousness will disappear. So I feel like it also helps. So this one as well, we've already talked about, but if you can throw a little bit more light on it. So people often interpret networking to be meeting new people for career and business growth. Do you agree with that notion? Or if not, what are other aspects of life that you can network? Because a lot of people always think it has to be for work, for growth, for business. Are there other areas of your life that you need to network?
Yes, so we've said it earlier, like you said, it doesn't really have to be for work. Yes, it's good for work. It's good for business growth. It's good for, I've known, somebody has come up to say, if not for Instagram, she wouldn't have started a business. And she started a business due to, going on Instagram, seeing a lot of people. And I'm like, I can do this. And she started, and it's a year now, and she's doing excellently well, right? So yes, it's good to network for reasons like that. But like we said earlier, it's also good for your mental health. There was this program that a particular group used to do at, that's when COVID was really, really hitting at that time. And they called them GTA Connect. At that point, I wasn't even on GTA Connect group, but I knew almost everybody I knew was on that group. But because of my phone capacity, I said, no, I wasn't going to join the group. But they were really having fun. And each time I would join, those evenings. And one day my husband was like, what is this group that I'm always, so I put it on hands-free. DJ Alpha was blasting that day, and everybody was dancing, and my husband was looking at us and unconsciously started dancing as well. It was that time that COVID was hitting really hard, that everybody was scared, weren't sure what was going to happen the next minute. And for hours till like 2 a.m. we were there dancing, people were happy. Most of us didn't know each other, right? But at that period, we were able to support each other mentally because of what was going on around us. And because some people were able to come together to say, you know what, I think at this point we need to do things to help us build our mental capacity because of all the, bad things happening at that time. And my husband was shocked and was like, did you pay this DJ? We're like, we didn't pay DJ. Oh, DJ is free, oh, but we're having fun, you know? And I was always interacting. And you know what? Like I said, it doesn't have to be for that. I will give you another very interesting story. So recently, I had a very close family member that needed a help on something that was really urgent and emotional. And I got emotional myself. I needed to get a hold of somebody that could help. So I reached out to all my contacts, and one of them said, "Sis, I will go and search on social media." She went on social media, and in like less than 30 minutes, she came back with 2 or 3 people and said, "Sis, let's reach out to these individuals. They should be able to help us." So I said, "Thank you." I reached out, she reached out. And fortunately, this person just responded to me on Instagram. Almost immediately, I sent the message. And she said, "Oh, you can call me on so number." And I was shocked. This person didn't know me. But you know, the surprising thing, she was following me, but I wasn't following her on social media. So immediately I saw that, oh, she was even following me. So I immediately clicked follow and I started following her as well. Then I said, "Oh, thank you. I didn't even know you were following me. I need your help." And I gave out the history of what I needed. And she said, "I'm going to be on break at 12 noon. Call me." And she spent all through our break, she spent that period with me and even asked me to add the person to the call. And for me, it was priceless. It wasn't career, it wasn't job, it wasn't business. But this individual that I've never met before was able to help another family in a very trying period, for free, selflessly. And for days, I was just thinking about it. Wow, this lady is amazing. What can I do for her? She's amazing. That is the power of networking. That is the power of being able to reach out. We're not met physically, even though I'm really looking forward to this COVID period, because that singular act for me was an amazing act. And I really want to meet her physically. So I said, wow. So these are things that you get off places like social media for free, right? And the information she gave to us were information that if we had actually gone to a professional, probably they would have paid heavily for, and it would have maybe given us 3-4 months wait period to even get that much of information. But because she was already in that process, she was able to give it to us free. And you know what? We were able to rest emotionally at that period because we're all in that, we're emotionally stabilized. So yeah, it doesn't have to be professional. It doesn't have to be business. It could just be for your own personal well-being, even kids as well. So yeah, networking is an amazing tool. Like I would always say at the end of every answer to my question.
That's amazing. And just to add, also people that for fitness as well, some people would like network just for fitness purposes, and they would do exercises, watch each other on Zoom, do exercises, and be there one another's body. Because in this period, even though we don't have anywhere to go, a lot of times it's still very difficult to exercise. So when you have a body that's like cheering you on, sometimes you don't even know them. It's via social media. It's also like great. So yeah, that's like.
You're muted.
All right, sorry about that. So I said, yeah, for a lot of times it's really important, like for exercises and stuff, to find the body that can help you to be able to achieve your aim health wise and all of that. So, what are your thoughts about paid networking events? Do you think it's worthwhile or it's a worthwhile investment?
So I would say that it depends. Now, when you're networking, in as much as we've spoken about the very informal way of networking, there are also very formal ways of networking. Now, depending on what exactly you're looking for. So for a person, example, for a person looking for a job, a person trying to get, change jobs, change career, professional kind of networking, business kind of networking, yes, you might have to pay. And the first thing I tell people is what exactly is the value you're looking for? So you're looking at what is exactly is that value? If I'm going to be paying for this thing, what do I get back in return? Right? So if you're looking at, you actually have to have a set goal for yourself. What are the things that I'm going into this program? So for me, I would say no, it is not a bad thing to pay for networking. As a lawyer, you would pay for various CPD programs. Sometimes you pay for the gala. It's not as if you don't have rice and chicken in your house to eat, but the fact that you're going to mingle with your colleagues, you're going to learn, you're going to meet new people, you're going to, kind of associate with your people of like minds. So for you, is that worth paying for? That's a question you want to ask yourself. And if it's a yes, yes, please go for it. So yeah, there are networking programs that are paid, and it depends on what exactly you want. But I wouldn't say it's a waste. I wouldn't say it's a no-no. I would say depending on what exactly do you want to get out of what you're going for. You know what your wants are, what are your objectives, what are your goals, what are your plans, what are the visions you have for attending that program. And if you feel, yeah, this program is going to help me attain all these things that I've set down for myself, then yeah, go for it.
Yeah, that's true because sometimes you can't always get everything for free. So you have to spend, like, you have to put your mouth where your money is sometimes, because you can't get everything for free. Sometimes the quality of networking that you're looking for, you might have to actually pay for it. Because, for example, I'm just going to throw random names. Let's say you want to meet up with Bill Gates or somebody. You can't expect to just sneak into his DM and think it's gonna. It has to be they're coming to Toronto and there's going to is a $300 ticket and stuff. In that situation, you have to spend. So you can't expect everything to be for free, because then you might not be able to attain that height that you set for yourself. So being conscious of time, because I know you have other engagements that you're going for. So I'm just going to skip a couple of questions, but I was going to say, what will your advice be to viewers who either haven't been networking or want to give up on networking because they think that they are not reaping the benefits?
So my advice would be don't give up. Um, every event might not be for you. Every event or networking program or event that you go to might not be that one that would give you the results that you want. But I have a very close friend and mentor that always says to me, you miss 100% of the opportunities you do not try out. So when you don't try it, you wouldn't know what the outcome would be, right? So I would say don't give up. Sometimes you network and you get bad experiences, and you'll be like, oh, is it really worth it? Do I want to go? Do I want to do this? Do I want to toe this line? I would say no. You can't decide singularly on one experience, right? So you keep trying, you keep re-strategizing, you go back and lay your cards on the table. What did I do wrong the last time? What did I say that I wasn't meant to say? And like I said at the beginning, you're kind of nurturing a relationship. Now, it depends on the kind of networking you're talking about, but for most of this networking events or networking program or people that you network with, it's better when it's a kind of the relationship is in sync. It's not one person giving and the other person taking. It should be kind of, it doesn't have to be 50-50, comparison, but in every little way you can. If you have somebody you're networking with, let's assume for a job, and this person sends you resume all the time, looks through your resume for you, have chats with you when you have what is it called, interviews and all that. Once in a while, just check up on that person. And don't wait till the period when you have issues till you reach out. Don't wait till the period when you have an interview. Then you call the person, oh, how are you doing? I just said I should say hi, but I have an interview tomorrow. No. So, once in a while, just say hello to that person. And don't assume, oh, this person has not even asked me if I've gotten a job yet. And just, look at that relationship as not being worth it. No, that person might be going through stuff too at that particular period of their life. So be able to try to give back as well, right? Volunteer, in whatever capacity you can. We have a lot of non-for-profit right now within the community, outside the community. That's a great way to network also. By the time they see you doing what you're doing and they see you doing it selflessly, people will reach out. Oh, what do you do? Oh, you need this? Oh, I have somebody that can offer this service. I have this somebody that can do this for you. I have somebody that can build your website for you. I have somebody that is looking for an assistant. Are you willing to take the role? So these are things that you would gain while you reach out to people. So staying on your own, and saying that because you've done it once it didn't work, it's not the best approach. I know sometimes it can be tiring, sometimes it can be a little bit depressing, and like, I'm tired of, especially when it's not your person. Like for some of us, it's inbuilt, it's inborn. We love to go, we love to network. It's part of our, how do we call it? It's part of our person, right? For some people, there's a struggle because they prefer to, be on their own. But something is one important skill that you need to have in order to move faster. It's not as if you wouldn't move fast, but when you have skills, you're able to use networking skills. It helps you attain things faster than you normally would. So that is what I would say. So please, if you're out there, you're getting tired, you don't feel you need it, I would say you do need it. We all need to network within ourselves, within our community, outside our community, for whatever purpose, professional, job, business, personal life. Sometimes you just need somebody to just talk to. And sometimes it's even easier to talk to a stranger than to talk to a friend, because you know that when the stranger have gone, the person has gone. The person doesn't know your mom or your dad or your cousin to go and relate your story to, right? So yeah, so please, it's a great tool that is useful, and I know that it will continue to be useful. And now it's even easier. There are different platforms where you can network and you don't even have to meet people physically. So yeah, it makes it easier for us.
Thank you so much for all your time that you've spent with us. We've learned a whole lot. And yeah, we're so excited. I have so many other questions, but then we've run out of time.
I can take two more. I can take two
You
more
can take
questions.
two more. Okay, great, great. Okay, that's fantastic. All right, so I would. The first one is, let's just talk about you a little bit. I know there are a lot of people, contacting you, looking up to you for some sort of guidance. Does it ever get overwhelming? And if it does, how do you handle it?
I'm human, right? Of course, it does get overwhelming. How do I handle it? So I'm a little bit. How do I explain this now? I want to help. People that are close to me knows that anything, as long as it's within my capacity, I want to go out. I don't even need to know you. But I also appreciate it when people do not take people for granted. We have a lot of that within our community, and I just pray we get better. um like I said, I get overwhelmed. It's normal for us to get overwhelmed, especially when you have your own stuff that you're dealing with as well. Look at, I told you this week has been crazy, crazy, crazy for me. uh but you know what, I just try to create that boundary. I would do my best. I would tell you what I can do, but I would not kind of spoon feed you, because I believe that we're all adults. And I also believe that we all understand time, we all understand how it works in the community that we're in. So I would, normally put you through, tell you what you need to do, tell you how you need to go about it, and expect, if Mr. A approaches me to say, I need ABC, and I tell Mr. A, this is where you get ABC, and this is how you get ABC, then Mr. A expects me to come back to ask if you've gotten ABC, or how did you get ABC, then it's not going to work. Because the way Mr. A is coming to me, I have a Mr. B and Mr. C and Mr. D. So I would expect Mr. A to go look for ABC. And if Mr. A has any issue while looking for ABC, come back to me to say, during the course of me looking for ABC, these were the things that I encountered. How do you think I can resolve it? But like I said, yeah, it does happen, not all the time. Um, and things are really, a little bit easier now because we have a lot of information up out there. So for mostly the people that would come to me at this point are people that are planning to start up their own practice or probably get licensed to practice. And these days I just have my normal 1 hour, 2 hours a week or two pet talk guidance. Then I send you to the right source. We have an amazing team out there that are doing beautiful things. We have Niger lawyer in Canada. I send them to the website. Go to. Are you on Instagram? I know people that said I'm not on Instagram. I tell them you have to. I'm not social media savvy. I say you have to be social media savvy for this purpose. So go and open an Instagram page and follow this handle. If not, don't follow anybody if you don't want to, but this handle because it's going to be beneficial to you, right? So you go there, open it, follow them. Go on Facebook. We have a lot of groups that are doing this, doing that. Go on WhatsApp. Some people tell me I'm not on WhatsApp. You have to go and download WhatsApp because what I would be telling you and it's strange to you when you find 2-3 people that are doing the same thing and you people can talk, to each other. It makes it easier for you as well. So why not go download WhatsApp and join this group? And like I said, it's been great because we have a lot of information up out there helping a lot of people. So it takes quite a lot of stress off.
Thank you so much for that. So since I have the chance to ask one more question, my question will be, what was your best experience with networking and what was your worst?
My best experience with networking, like I said to you, was meeting a particular individual. I know she wouldn't want me to mention a name here, but I met her 6 years ago. It was through networking. We didn't meet physically, but I just, that story I told you in a very 2 seconds was an amazing one. It had a lot of back and forth to it. But you know what? It has been an amazing experience. She became my sister, my mentor, my friend. She's somebody that I'm scared to, we're all human. Sometimes I want to cry. She's somebody I'm comfortable calling and crying. And I'm sure that when I'm crying, sometimes when I call her, I'm not joking right now. I call her to cry. And when I call her to cry, she picks her car even at 12 midnight and drives to my house. That's the kind of relationship LinkedIn gave me. And like I said, I'd never met this person before social media and all that. And this is the kind of person that will also come here and say, "See, this is what's going on. What do you think? This is blah, blah, blah," So that's an amazing thing. And a lot of people like that as social media has blessed me with, especially in this part of the world, that I met through social media and we became like family. We became like sisters. I can mention that bunch of them. And yes, I've had terrible experiences as well. Sometimes, you know how life is. Everything cannot be smooth all the time. I've had a very annoying experience. I've had some tragic ones. But I won't want to mention anything in particular. But yeah, it does happen. But what I have also learned is when things like that happen, you learn from such situation so you can guide yourself against it repeating itself. But yeah, we're all vulnerable. So yeah, it would happen. There's no way. Even when you decide to stay to yourself, you will still encounter things that are not pleasant as human beings. So yeah, it does really happen, but that's life for us. So I would encourage everyone, please don't say because, something bad has happened to me on social media, so I will not be friendly or I will not reach out and I will not, do this or encourage somebody. And some of us have the strength of actually supporting and encouraging, of giving to people without thinking getting back. So I would say, especially people like that, there are times that you encounter some very horrific experience and you want to kind of and say, you know what, I'm not doing this anymore. But I would say, look at all the good things you've done. Look at, how it has helped people and how it have changed people's life and compare it to the bad ones. So you just look at it and say, you know what, I think this 1 or 2 experience would not stop me from being good. So yeah, just continue to be good. That's my motto in life. I tell people, just be good, just be kind to people. It gives you an amazing joy that nothing can give you.
Yeah, that's true. As I said, like I'm not a mentor, but like whenever people reach out to me, the little that I can do, when I do it, and then they come back later and say, "Oh," sometimes I've even forgotten that I gave them that information. Like for example, 2 days ago, I was dozing off in bed and I saw like a message, and it was like from somebody say, "Oh, I passed all my NCA exams, and thank you so much, sis. You don't even know how my success story cannot be complete without you." And I'm like, what did I do? I just shared my materials with you like 2 years ago, 2019, just before the COVID hit. And she was like, you can't understand. You can't understand how much you did for me. And I said, no, I just gave you material. You studied for it. You passed it. But she was like, you can't understand. And that's how much sometimes what you do that you don't take that heavy. Some other people depend on it, and they're so grateful, and they come back to tell you, wow, thank you so much for assisting me in this time period. And that's fantastic. And it has this feeling that comes with it, that it makes you like, it made my entire day, even though the day was a crappy day, it made my day. And I was like, yeah, you know what, sometimes it encourages you to even do more, to want to do more. So when you have this bad networking experiences and you add those good ones, most of the time the good one outweighs the bad. So just look to
Yes.
those ones and forget about the bad and keep moving. So thank you so much. I really appreciate your time that you spent with us today. And yeah, I'm just going to run through to see those that are left a comment just to say hi, and then we'll be done for the day. So thank you so much for everybody joining. If you're here and you've not given us a thumbs up, give us a thumbs up. If you have not subscribed, kindly subscribe, and also leave a comment just now, because I wouldn't know who came in if I don't see your comment. And that's how we mark attendance on this channel. So thank you so much, Mega C Royale, for joining. Thank you to Chris A, Olu Akin Lawal. Thank you so much for joining from the UK. Thank you, Niger Lawyer in Canada. Thank you, and Wogire. And thank you so much, everybody, for joining. Please, this is a recorded program, so you can rewatch, you can share the link with your friends, with your family, and those that you think needs to listen to this. It was a fantastic and thought-provoking session. Thank you, everybody, and have a fantastic, fantastic day. Is there anything that you want to tell our audience before we go off live?
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Thank you for being here. And thank you, Fikemi, for having me. And thank you for the good job. And continue to do the good job that you're doing. And yeah, have a good week, everyone. Enjoy summer. Summer is here, so have fun. Enjoy the weather as much as we can before the snow comes back.